Hi, and welcome back. This is our 8 o'clock session of Big Day of Giving. We are super excited to report that we have almost reached $10,000 today. We really appreciate all of our donors, our board, and our staff for their hard work and generosity today. I am Meg Seifert, the Executive Director. I'm sure you guys have seen me throughout the day. And I have Mary Ellen, one of our instructors and program people who has been with Headwaters since the beginning. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mary Ellen.
Oh, great. I'd love it.
Yeah, and thanks for your live lesson earlier today. How was that?
It was fun. It was a new experience, but I enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah, this is definitely a new time, I would say, for all of us adjusting to new technology, new ways of teaching. But I am, as the director, super excited that our staff has been so flexible and willing to make some of those adjustments. So thanks for doing that today.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, so our day has been going great. We started early when I hopped on at 8:30 this morning. We already had some donors and it went strong through happy hour, which just ended a little while ago. And since then, we've had a few new donors. So Mary Ellen is going to give a shout out and we have some more t-shirt prizes to give away.
Yes, a big shout out to Sarah Dominic from Soda Springs. Thank you very much. We had one nice anonymous donor to come in. David Lentz from Sacramento. Thank you very much for stepping up. And our new donor t-shirt winner is Whitney Lorta. We have one other winner. It's a new family, Perryman family. Thank you for showing up for our fund drive.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's great to get some new donors out there and to be able to give away some Headwaters apparel. Any of you guys that haven't won today, if you want it, you can definitely purchase it online as well. Those proceeds go back to supporting our program. So if you love our cool sweatshirts and Mary Ellen's is showing up better than mine t-shirts, you're welcome to hop online and support us that way. Yeah, so I hope that during these last few hours, people will hop on bigdayofgiving.org/Headwaters Science Institute and continue that generosity so we can get over that $10,000 hump that we set. And it's super important.
How are we, Meg?
Yeah, we are just a few $100s off, a little under $500. Yeah, it's not much. I think we can do it.
Yay.
Yeah, and I was hoping to give some people some inspiration to donate. I thought that Mary Ellen and I might talk a little bit about some of our great programs and why we love teaching them. So we're going to go ahead and throw up some photos of our programs, and Mary Ellen and I will chat a little bit. So Mary Ellen, do you remember when this photo?
This one is not the meadow. Refresh my memory.
This might be Forest Lake. I think this took place not here.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, so we have some program photos going in the background. Obviously, that's up here on the summit. But I was wondering, Mary Ellen, if you wanted to talk a little bit about what your favorite parts of teaching for Headwaters.
Well, these really trigger a great memory. I love the winter ones just because that's my passion. And my favorite part about the winter ones is when the students they're jumping into their research, but they get into sort of an uncomfortable situation just with cold or overexertion. And when they work through it and really find strength in themselves, that more than they think they have, it's really great to watch the transition. It's like one step above what the research is doing, but it adds to the whole experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially those students that have never seen snow or been in the snow before, it's a big experience. Spencer, if you want to just pause right here, sorry. I'm going to just interrupt that train of thought because we have we're dropping early next week. We are launching signups for a online summer learning opportunity. And we're hoping, actually, we're not hoping, we know it will be, while the individual classes and mentorships will have to take place online because of social distancing, you'll still get to get outside and do research near your house. There's tons of great projects that can be done anywhere with simple tools that you can make. If you want to be one of the first ones to get that information or know, because signups are going to be limited. We're going to have limited space since it's going to be more individualized with that one-on-one mentorship. The goal of the summer project is for the students to come out with a publishable research paper. And so if you want that information, there's a link at the bottom of that slide. It's also on our Facebook page. And or you can sign up for our newsletters. It'll be coming out in the newsletter. So we can keep going back. Sorry, I just wanted to plug that.
One thing, Meg, about that program that I'm pretty excited about, that it dawned on me, is that each person in that program is going to be in a pretty different environment, probably. So the research projects are going to be very different. So I think it's going to be kind of cool to see what everybody comes up with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could be anywhere in the world and participate in this program. And so whether you're like in an urban environment or here in Truckee,
so
those
that's a whole new element that we haven't been able to do before.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, if anyone had similar interests, there is even the potential for a comparison project between different places.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, because we're so focused on our ecosystems up here, it'll be really cool to see if we get coastal ones or chaparral. It's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, or even what's going on in the like urban zones, around like parks or just trees or things that are living in the cities. So I think there's research to be done anywhere, and excited to see what the students come up with.
Yeah. And hopefully in the fall, we'll be able to get outside again. That one reminded me that the fall is coming at some point.
Yeah. I mean, as you can see from the pictures, right? Like, doesn't take a lot, rulers, or, I mean, you've done lessons on making your own nets or transects or quadrats. I mean, you don't
It is amazing how simple of a tool you can use. I don't think we've bought expensive tools the whole time we've been in business. It's really encouraging how easy it is to do.
No, when we drop like $20 for a pH meter, we all think it's a big deal.
Yeah. And we're protective of it too.
Yep. No, I think it's great that we've really, learned a lot about how much you can do with research with really simple tools.
Mm-hmm.
Our computers are our most expensive tool we use to input data or do statistics.
Right. These are great photos. They were reminding me of some really fun times with these guys.
Yeah. It's great to kind of like, it's like memory lane go, as you're watching what happened at like North Tahoe or, in the Meadow, Barrett Middle School, who we're raising funds for today. There's been some of their photos mixed in.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Do you have other thoughts on teaching or, other parts of doing programs that you enjoy?
Well, the thing that strikes me the most is I generally go into a program thinking, oh, I'm going to have to really guide them and, encourage them a lot to figure out what they want to ask and how they're going to ask it. And it's funny how each time I realize it's very simple, basically, for the instructor, because the kids it's not hard for them to ask questions. They jump in and rattle off 30 in a half an hour, and it's very easy to just narrow it down to something that they really like. So it's something that strikes me over time and again, how it's student driven is so much easier than trying to control the whole thing.
Yeah, I would say like every new teacher I meet with, when I'm trying to talk to them about doing a program with us, they're like, oh, my kids would never be able to come up with projects. And
Yeah.
I've just never run into that. At the beginning, I always had those little bit of nerves, like, oh, what if that really happened? But
Yeah.
we just never really found that to be true. Students have amazing curiosities and minds, and
they sometimes come up with really outrageous ones that are really cool.
yeah.
Like how much pressure would you have to pound? Help me out with this one. Pound the tree into a diamond.
Yeah, like that was one of Spencer's early ones at Truckee High, and they wanted to make a diamond out of a tree, is where that started from.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And it turned out to be such a mathematical project, and the teachers are like, these students hate math. How did they do that?
Yeah, exactly. That was a good one. That was definitely one of the more memorable ones.
Yeah, I really thought that was great. I mean, we've had a lot over the years, or just some tedious projects like the ash after the King Fire, and that was
right.
I knew how well all of this could work, because we have students that are like picking up the tiny bits of ash and like looking at me like, are you being careful enough as a with their projects?
That was another story I was thinking of today when Julie Anderson was talking about memorable moments. And I had a couple groups, and one of my groups, they were excited. They went outside, and then all of a sudden they were kind of arguing and not getting along. And just when I thought, oh boy, I'm just going to have to step in, they started to figure it out on their own in the group. They just self-corrected, and I was blown away. By the end, they were just jamming out the data and working super well together. It was this fascinating psychological study from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah. It's funny when teachers are like, well, yeah, I want to do this, but do you think you could build in some team building? And I'm like, well, doing a research project together is team building.
Yeah.
That was a great example of how, you learn to work in a group, and you get this great project that they didn't think was possible at the beginning. They overcome failures. I mean, to me, it's just amazing what these research projects, the depth of, and not only knowledge, but experiences that students get in just a few days of creating these projects.
Yeah, the group solving problem was very sophisticated, how they ended up operating. It was, they figured out jobs, and it was impressive. It was way better than if I had interceded in it.
Yeah, I actually have to compliment you. Are so good at stepping back and letting the kids figure it out. It takes me a lot of work to like remind myself to do that. It always turns out better when we do, but I think that that's actually one of the harder things for me anyway, for instructing programs, is to let it happen, or not make the project my own, or really let the kids work things out and step back. Somehow I feel like I'm not like working hard enough or something when I'm just like mentoring in these certain ways. But I have to say, every time I've watched you teach, you're really good at knowing the right moments to step in.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, these pictures are fun to watch.
Yeah, that past one was San Francisco University High. These were some of Andy's former students at Sugar Bowl Academy. Yeah. It's Corey Lane from one of the years up at the summit.
Oh, and this was
that was in Reno, right?
In Reno, Swope.
Yeah, that was a super fun program on the Truckee River. So yeah, we've just had so many good memories over the years. I think, unless you have more to say, I was gonna we'll pull the slideshow, and we can. I want to put in another plug for donors. Without your help, none of this is possible. So while we have a great staff, and obviously I couldn't do it without Mary Ellen, Spencer, Leah, our board, but donors, this day is about you, and this is your way to make all of this possible, whether it's the online learning or these in-person classes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you for everybody today. This was a big day, and it means a lot to us for everybody that donated.
Yeah, so we're hoping that those last few donors come in. We have till midnight tonight. And every dollar you donate means $2 that Headwaters gets. So that's really an exciting reason to donate today. You can choose to help some of the Sacramento schools specifically. It can go to our general fund, online learning, but all of it, as Alex said this morning, I think because Mary Ellen and Spencer and I were the founders of Headwaters. Actually, Spencer, if you want to pop in for just a second, he's in the background helping with all the technical things. Hey. Yeah, we realized that the three founders were on tonight, and we were so frugal at the beginning, and we still tend to run that way. Like Alec was saying, like, oh, I first became interested in Headwaters because I looked at their $9.90 and I saw that they spend hardly any money on anything other than direct program costs. And I think without the three of us all being super like-minded in that way and really cautious about how we spend money and trying to give so much back to the kids, and that being just in all of our hearts, none of this would have been possible. So thank you too.
Yeah, it's all about the kids, and we can do some great things when we work together.
Yeah. So way to go, team. I would not have guessed that we would have been here in so many different reasons, in a situation of trying to transition to online learning, or just that we would have expanded to so many programs, so many donors, the kind of reach that we have today when we first started. So it's you two. Yeah, you two have really made a huge difference, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Meg.
And thanks to you too. We definitely, benefit from your leadership in working all together. So it's been great. I love what I do, and
well, thank you guys. Yeah, so for the rest of the evening, you should get on and donate. And coming up, we are going to be re-streaming the happy hour, because I know some people missed it. These days, it's really hard if you have kids, whether it's the East Coast bedtimes or dinner time here or those things. So I know there was some call to see what happened and to hear the Dead Winter Carpenters, who Jenny and Jesse just had great music, and the trivia from Craig was fun. So even though you can't win, you can test your skills and see if you can get those answers. Yeah. So that's coming up. So thank you to everybody for making this a great day. Thank you, Mary Ellen and Spencer.
Yeah, thank
you.
Enjoy, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night.